Let me get now the account of Commissioner John Waiganjo. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Lovely having you here on the broadcast. On the 12th, that is about 5 days ago, you issued a statement and after receiving or registering 10 complaints of unlawful arrests, abduction and the disappearances of person at different stages and which are now under analysis and investigations. They include the case of Austin Omondi in Nairobi, Gabriel Oguda in Nairobi, John Frank, Nairobi, Dre Mwangi, Nairobi, Shadrack Kiprono, some ever since released, Leslie Muturi, Joshua Okayo, Joseph Mwangi, Danzel Omondi, and the incident in Isiolo County, which involves Mukhtar Tache Ali, Noura Abdi Diba, and Isa Osman. So given that you have also requested the public to help you with evidence, this is rather a tough assignment, is it, that you have given unto yourselves of oversighting the police service? And do you think that there will be successful conclusions or end to this request that you have rolled out to the public?
It's a tough assignment indeed, but we're making some progress. On the issue of those abducted, I want to say we have since realized that most of those who are adopted and the information went out to the public have since been released without charges. We have others that, we have other complaints of abductions, and for those whose abduction were not recorded or did not get to the public, we are yet to get to know where they are. Some of them are not in lawful custody, and therefore it's tough. But by and large, we want the public to also know the circumstances under which we are working, because we have received a lot of flack from the public, particularly the public online. But it's important to put the information out there that the authority can only do as much, because we have a mandate, and our mandate is in law and it is restricted. And we also don't work on our own. Once we carry out our investigations, there are other agencies that will necessarily take over and proceed with those investigations. So, for instance, once we establish, for instance, the murders now we are investigating, we forward our files to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for them now to escalate the matters to court. But it appears out there the public expects us to prosecute, and we do not have such powers. And the other issue that we need the public to know is that we are working under very tough conditions. I think at the lifetime of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, we have not seen the level of uncooperation we are seeing now from the police commanders, senior police officers, because we have sometimes to go back to them, for instance, to get certain documentations that we cannot move without. But we have since found a very hostile environment where our officers, when they go out, they are not getting any information. And when we give out summonses, they are not responded to. And we are going out of our way now to push the matter now to the judiciary to issue even warrants of arrest against senior commanders so that they can come.
As the next recourse now?
Yes, and give us information, because the public is demanding that we do certain things within our mandate. The law allows us now to escalate the matter to courts for warrants of arrest. And we have a tough task, particularly here in Nairobi, because most of the deaths have been recorded here, exceeding 22 deaths. And we need to have deployment schedules. We need to have arms registers. We need to know where those arms are and on whose hands. So if we don't get information, if we don't get cooperation then from the senior police officers, then it will appear like we are doing nothing.
22 deaths, this is police-related?
Yes, police-related.
By the complaints? By
the complaints. And the other thing I would want also to state, it's not just uncooperation from the senior command of the National Police Service. It's also non-cooperation from other government institutions. We have been visiting health institutions like the Kenyatta National Hospital, also trying to get medical records of those involved in demonstrations,
yes,
and those that we think their injuries are related to gunshot wounds. And the institutions are not giving us the cooperation that we require.
Okay. Well, it seems you are rather flying in a very turbulent pathway when you have critical institutions not providing you with the necessary information as required. But even to complicate it further, because we have recorded this video yesterday, our team was part of the media team that had covered the demonstration yesterday. And Stafford, if we have that video, yes, and we would like to play it so that we can view it from the monitor and make sense of it, because if it seems the institutions that are concerned, here we are, Commissioner, if you can clearly see, this is a completely hooded policeman, and here is a video clip you can see of the tear gas lobbing gun in the hand of a police officer. The others also, yes, the video is coming back again shortly. Yes, we can replay the video. Yes, here we are. Another police officer with, you can see the tear gas. And they're all hooded, they are masked, they have no uniform, they have no identification number. Commissioner, coming to you, frankly, given the frustrations that you have witnessed and experienced from non-cooperation from government agencies and the police command, and then you have such situation, frankly, there is little reason to be optimistic, is it, about justice for the families of those who have been killed by police?
It's true. That's what is going on. The police are clearly breaking the law, because it's clear that the officers, even those in uniform, are not displaying their name tags and their service numbers. And secondly, those who are in civilian clothing are also putting on hoodies, and you cannot tell who they are. So we, as an authority, are suspecting there's a specific unit that is being sent out there, apart from now the ordinary deployment, to go and commit atrocities. Because, and that's why we're very frustrated when we do not get information from the police commanders. And that is why we are calling out on the Nairobi commander, Adamson Bugay. We are also calling out the acting Inspector General of Police. And we are saying that if we are not going to get this information, we are going to petition the court to issue our warrant for their arrest, because they carry the biggest responsibility. Because if we do not know where the platoons are coming from, and we do not have their names, and we do not have their numbers, and we do not have arms registers, then it is sabotage against the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. And to exercise our independence, then we have to escalate it to the judiciary. Because we have observed all this. We have observed the use, the touring, we have monitored the touring of the officers. We have seen the substances that they are using. We know they're not well prepared. They're using live bullets. And of course, you saw the substance they're using, instead of the usual water cannons, they're using some other substance, of which we have also sought to be provided with. So we are at a point where we must tell the public our frustrations. And we must, other than just tell the public our frustrations, we must draw it to the next level.
Which is the judiciary.
Which is the judiciary. And it's not just the judiciary. I think that all the arms of government now must come at play. Because these frustrations are coming because we have since sought to know how the law on IPOA can be amended to give us certain powers, like prosecutorial, even arresting powers. Our officers don't even carry guns because they are not allowed to. So you can see, when we go to Parliament, Parliament does not take its place to carry out the amendment to our Act. When we go to Bunge, for instance, we are trying to carry out investigations on the deaths that occurred on the 25th, when the public invaded Parliament. And we are just seeking the CCTV cameras and certain information that can help us know why most of those youths that went to Parliament are disappearing. And we have complaints about their disappearances. Others are found dead. So we are very keen to know what happened in Parliament, who was in Parliament, but we cannot get such simple information like CCTVs. When we go to the executive, we begging the IG, we are begging the Nairobi commander to give us information on the platoons that are on the beat so that we can know who to pick on and how to carry out our investigations. When we go to the judiciary, particularly at the Supreme Court, we are not getting priority on the prosecution of our matters. So we are at a point where we must tell the public who are responsible for the inertia that appears to be happening at the Independent Policing Oversight Authority.